Hello, listeners and fellow Chicagoans. This is Dalia Cahigas, and today I'm so thrilled to share with you that I am recording the 50th episode of Move Ahead with Dalia. This has been such an incredible journey for me, and I've learned so much. I've shared so much information and resources for our community, and today I'm going to give you some of the information about the past episodes so that hopefully you can touch on them and check them out if you missed any. Out of the 50 podcasts, including this one, we've had 44 guests on the show, and 23 were nonprofit organizations that we highlighted. We also highlighted 16 Chicago businesses that work in our community. 23 of the episodes had some discussion about housing, whether it was affordable housing, property taxes, landlord and tenants, homebuyer workshops. A lot of information about housing were in 23 of the episodes, and 11 episodes had some form of either mental health or physical health in the episodes. So we talked about, like I said, mental health. We talked about things to improve your health, like juicing. There were such great episodes. So I hope if you missed any of those that you take a listen. And I also wanted to share a couple of other things about the episodes. There was 2 episodes where I had one guest that was Freeman Brown. He's a motivational speaker in Chicago who grew up in Chicago, and he spoke about all the challenges and all the things he learned throughout those challenges in his life. So thank you, Freeman, for joining me for those 2 episodes. That was episode 43 and 44. And I also had my youngest podcast guest, Jubilee Hernandez. She was in episode 22, and she's with Northwest Center, another nonprofit organization. And Jubilee talked about her activism in the community. And I know you are going to go so far in whatever you do, Jubilee, because you are super impressive. Thank you for joining me on the podcast as well. So I also want to share a few small clips. They're only about 2 minutes each, and these are 5 podcast episodes that I would love to highlight. The first one was episode 2. It's with Mario Mena, and Mario Mena is a mural artist in Chicago. Take a listen to this clip. Incredible.
Yeah, we were even talking to the other artists because it's a deep sea like space.
Yeah.
So the rest of it is like deep space, planets, astronauts blended in. And even the artists were like, man, we should do this outside so people could see it.
Yeah.
Because only the kids or the staff will see it.
Well, that's incredible that Roberto Clemente Community Academy has something specific for the students when they need to like decompress.
Yes. Definitely a moment where I was like, I'm at least never going to let this go. I'm going to work with it whichever way I can, because I couldn't go to college just because of my situation back then. I was like, I'm just going to keep creating. If I make it to a show or something good or bad happens, it's not about that. It's about my mental health, me feeling better, and enjoying life in my own way. So,
good. That's awesome.
Yeah. So, yeah, since last spring, about a year now, I've been working with the Locali. I
Really?
love it. Yeah, like getting to know these kids, what they're going through. I see myself in them too, you know.
Of course you do. So that's through the Mexican. As you can see, Mario Mena is sharing beauty through his artwork in murals throughout the city. And in that podcast, we share not only what he does with his skill and gift of painting, but also we share a lot of personal things that he's been through, which I truly appreciate him doing so on my podcast. I would highly recommend, if you haven't listened to it, that you take a listen to Mario Mena's episode number 2. The second podcast I want to highlight is episode number 6. So this guy helped me launch my podcast. His name is Gino Pronos. Take a listen.
The goal is that you're creating content for the 200 people on your database.
Right.
Okay, so that's how you also have to think of it.
Yes, absolutely. I agree.
If over time it evolves, good for you. Maybe you can start monetizing it and it turns into its own thing. Great.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't need 1 million followers for this to be effective. You've already got 100 people, 200 people. You've already convinced them to like you. It's 90% of the work. You're making content for those people, something they would care about. That's your audience. And what do they care about? You. The hard part is convincing them that this stuff matters, helping them get over the fears that they may have of getting in front of the camera. It's not that easy at first. You got to jump off that cliff.
Yes.
It's scary.
Yes.
But then you realize after you do it 3, 4, 5 times, it's actually not that hard.
Because as my real estate marketing coach, I feel that you're holding me accountable now.
Everyone's so different in that way. Some people, they need the technical training. Some people just need that accountability. Well, luckily I've got a unique name, so it's the same everywhere. Gino Pronos, at Gino Pronos, everywhere, ginopronos.com.
So Gino joined me to share his media and marketing work in his business. He's also a real estate broker in Chicago, and he recorded my first 10 episodes. And then he handed the baton to my son, Devin. Thank you, Devin. Thank you, Gino. So great information from Gino. I would recommend you take a listen to his episode. Again, that was episode 6. And then the next one that I'd love to highlight is episode 10. So the Chicago Cuatro Orchestra is a nonprofit organization in Humboldt Park, and Orlando Rivera, he is the executive director. He joined me on the podcast with his Cuatro. Take a listen.
In our program, I have to tell you that really anybody could learn. I didn't make my curriculum thinking about people with talent.
Right.
I made it thinking about people that never in their life thought that they could play the instrument or an instrument. And then we start from scratch. You know, we teach you how to hold it, everything, how to tune it. We teach you how to understand a system that you could read and follow the music, and then we teach you repertoire techniques. We teach you, more important than anything else, how to listen to others, and play together.
Orlando Rivera is such an incredible musician, and I learned so much on this episode about the Puerto Rican culture. I learned about the Puerto Rican culture, and I'm Puerto Rican. And I learned so much about the cuatro instrument. So thank you again, Orlando, for joining us. I wanted to mention I recently sponsored and attended the Navideño Jíbaro, or Jíbaro Navideño event that the Chicago Cuatro Orchestra hosts every year in the beginning of December. So if you have not gone to this amazing event, put it on your calendar for December, the first Saturday of December in 2025. It's a cultural experience that you do not want to miss. Thank you again, Orlando, for everything you do for the Puerto Rican community in Humboldt Park. And thank you for joining me on the episode. The next podcast I want to highlight is episode 13. And on this episode, I had Jason Estremera. He's the executive director of the Northwest Side CDC, which is the Community Development Corporation. And Jason has so much knowledge about the Belmont-Cragen businesses and all the things that they need. They have so many resources at Northwest Side CDC, and he shares them on this podcast. His team is amazing, and I wanted to say thank you to Jason for joining me. Take a quick listen to this clip.
Our focus today is those 3 areas: providing one-on-one training and advising, or group-based training to folks who are looking to start or grow a business, We also, underneath sort of that umbrella, we have our business incubator program, which I know we'll be chatting about in a little bit. Our rental and our landlord work is, again, another place where we do that one-on-one advising and group-based training. Our bigger, probably most well-known work is really around bringing the community together through unique events in the neighborhood. We have Mercado en la Noche, which is a night market. You've been there. We had the paleta cart, right?
That was fun.
That was really, really fun. We also have Dia de Niño that we do every year. And then a lot of advocacy work around zoning laws and regulations.
So if you're considering starting a business, or if you have a business in the Belmont-Cragen area, or if you're a landlord or a tenant and you need help with anything in Belmont-Cragen, check in with Jason's team at Northwest Side CDC. They're incredible. Take a listen to that episode. That was episode 13. The final episode that I wanted to share is episode 49. On this episode, I had Lucy Gomez Feliciano. She is with Here to Stay Community Land Trust, and it's an important housing organization, nonprofit organization in Chicago's Northwest Side. Take a listen.
And for Here to Stay Community Land Trust, we're really focused on the families who have historically lived in the Humboldt Park, Avondale, Mosa, and Logan Square area, right? We're thinking about an area that's being aggressively gentrifying, where people are being pushed out. Most of our homeowners are second generations. They grew up in the neighborhood. Their parents probably still own in the neighborhood. They have their social network in the community. And they want to stay next to their social network, because a home is not just a home. A home is part of an ecosystem of family and friends that support each other, right? That pick up each other's kids, that take care of you. This family can stay in this house for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 generations, right? And we're really creating stability in a market that's unstable. And we know that most people are not in the position to donate their homes. But if they do want to donate their homes, we will take and accept a donation. I encourage anyone to come to our info sessions, whether you're interested in buying, you're interested in donating, and you're curious about this. Maybe not for you, but maybe for your niece, maybe for your son, maybe for a good friend that is dreaming about buying a home. I just encourage people to come learn.
What is the website?
It's heretostayclt.org.
So Here to Stay Community Land Trust is a nonprofit that is working to keep people that have lived long-term in communities like Logan Square, Humboldt Park, Hermosa, Avondale, in these communities that are highly gentrified. They're trying to keep people that have lived here for many years. They're trying to help them stay here. How? By giving them opportunities to buy homes here at lower market value. If you don't know about community land trust nonprofits, please listen in on this podcast, episode 49. There's so much valuable information that I think will help you, or at least help someone in your family who's looking to buy in the communities where you've raised your families. And finally, I just wanted to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of my podcast, Move Ahead with Dalia. This is episode 50. There are more to come. And I will continue to bring resources. I will continue to bring really good information about small businesses and nonprofits that are working in our city of Chicago from all over the city. So I want to say thank you again to all the guests that joined me for these past podcasts. I couldn't have done it without you, especially Gino and especially Devin, my son, who's been working side by side with me for about 40 episodes. And I hope that you all have an amazing, safe, healthy new year, and I look forward to seeing you. All the best. Bye. Hey, thank you so much for listening today. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe so you can keep up with my latest episodes. You can find me on all social media platforms at Dalia the Realtor. To reach me directly, call me at 773-879-4855. I'll see you on the next episode. Make it a great day.